Recording in progress.
Hello, Swivelheads. This is Greg Allison from Green Greg's coming to you on the 16th of March 22. Time on deck is 19,2600 hours Central Daylight Time. My friends, you may have noticed that the dollar seems to be in trouble. Well, guess what? There's some new news on the horizon that means that trouble is a lot worse than you may have thought. In fact, it is a crucial, fundamental issue with the dollar. Our dollar was propped up by basically a drug deal that President Nixon cut with Saudi Arabia back in the 70s when he took the dollar off the gold standard. He had a scheme that would make the dollar worth a lot more, that make it last and just put a lot of dollars out there in the marketplace at a high value. Now that scheme was he cut this deal with Saudi Arabia where Saudi Arabia would be forced to, Saudi Arabia would only sell oil in US dollars. That meant all the rest of the world to buy oil from Saudi Arabia would have to buy it in dollars. So they would have to get dollars. So there'd be a big demand for dollars. And Saudi Arabia being the biggest player in OPEC, it set the standard. Everybody traded oil in dollars. Everybody, whether they liked us or not, and dollars became the world's reserve currency. They already were the world's reserve currency pretty much, but that really set it. And that was the deal that Nixon cut. Well, things have gone to heck in a handbasket on that regard. Guess what? Saudi Arabia has decided to sell oil in other currencies. In fact, Saudi Arabia has just cut a deal with China to sell oil in yuan. What happened? Oh my gosh, guys, we'll have to come back to this. This is the demise of the dollar, and this is going to mean hyperinflation. It's going to mean our dollar is going to tumble. Hyperinflation is what you can expect as this begins to creep in the system. I'm going to go all in this. I've talked about this topic before, but we're going to look at it and talk about it right here, right now, in just a second. Now, my friends, I'll bring you videos like this as part of my Eyes Wide Open Head on a Swivel series because it helps you know what's coming at you, so how you can prepare, how to get ready for these times that are coming. We're living in it already. It hits the fan. It's hitting the fan now, and it isn't going to get any better. It doesn't look like. So I'm going to do everything I can to help you be aware of what's coming down the road. As long as we got a power grid and internet, and as long as they let me come on this platform and talk to you, that's what I'll do. And I'm working on other platforms, by the way, through my Freedom Restoration Foundation. So if you want to get involved in that, email me at freedomrestorationfoundation.org and put freedom in the subject line. If you're interested in freedom, subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and click all to get more of my videos so you can know when they come out, so you get the notifications. And of course, you have to check every now and then because they do kind of shadow ban my channel from time to time. So some people get notifications, some don't. So, but just double check. But that really helps. It helps me. The more subscribers I got, and it will help you to see what I'm putting out, especially when I go live. My friends, I got to tell you that also, you just got to get ready because of the dollar demise. You need to find other ways to store your value. Bitcoin is expected to shoot up by a lot of people and all that other cryptocurrency. But what we've seen in Canada with the Freedom Truckers thing is they found ways to go in and lock that stuff down. You know, that wasn't supposed to happen. They weren't supposed to be able to do that with the cryptocurrencies that are out there at the moment, but they've seemed to have found a way around it. So that really makes you wonder about the value, the efficacy of using those things, especially, you know, they won't be worth a hoot when the grid goes down. They were your money in the bank. You know, if you got money in the bank, you know, it's all digital. You know, it's ones and zeros, just like Bitcoin. So there's really no difference between one and the other, except one's more volatile than the other, but that other one is going to go dollars. So I'm not here to advocate cryptos though, but I will tell you this: there is an opportunity that you can look if you go to defythegrid.com. Now the link will be below. Whoa! So I want to show you, hey, that's Prepper Nurse One. You got a good channel. Let's see. Let me open this up here. Yeah, I watch Prepper Nurse One, guys. It's a good man. Yeah, it is. All right, so look, defythegrid.com/Goldback/ref/30. Link below. The /30 is my affiliate site. You come in here, and what you can get is you get gold coins that are made in the form of bills through vapor deposition of gold straight on plastic. And what you can get is this is low enough of value or low enough quantity of gold that you can actually buy bread with the smaller items. You can carry it in your wallet. You can exchange it. So this is spendable gold. That's the cool thing about it. And it is coins. You know, coins go for a little bit more than the current market value of gold. And these are pretty coins. You can get them. They are denominated from the various states to have them. And their denomination is based on each number up here is how many thousandths of an ounce of troy ounce, you know, 12 troy ounces in a pound, right? It's how many thousandths of a troy ounce of gold is deposited on this. And with the expectation of the dollar's demise, this is probably going to be just from the gold content alone down the road will be a good investment. You know, but you can also come in here and actually buy gold coins and silver and stuff like that if you click through the pages, if that's what you're wanting to buy. So there are other options in here. Let's see. These are called Goldbacks. So this may be a good investment for you. Check it out. What I like about it is these Goldbacks are something that you can barter with on the smaller amount than, you know, a big chunk of gold. You can't just, you know, walking in a store with a chunk of gold, it's kind of hard to buy bread that way. But what's cool is these have become basically legal tender in some states. And as I understand, you could pay your taxes with it there, although I would pay my taxes in fiat money. Not this stuff. I'd hold on to this. So guys, here's the thing. Check it out. Link below. I'm going to leave this just something for you to ponder with the demise of our dollar. This is available. All right, stop this share. Halo, let's go back and talk about this. What happened? Well, Saudi Arabia has been, there's a video right now of the Prince of Saudi Arabia high-fiving Putin and talking with China. And now they made this deal with China. Why would they do that? See, our deal with Nixon made him a deal that he said, look, as long as you take the dollar and only the dollar, we will defend Saudi Arabia militarily. You'll be fine. Well, guess what? Saudi Arabia wanted to buy F-35s and we would not sell them to Saudi Arabia. Hey, there was a sale. It was something to keep Saudi Arabia up. Fit within this defense. We've sold Saudi Arabia's jets for decades, all kinds of jets. Whatever we made, we sold to them. But suddenly, why is this? Well, there may be several reasons for this. You know, Saudi Arabia has been in basically a hot proxy war and sometimes direct with Iran for a few years now. And the United States is suddenly trying to quarter favor with Iran. Why? I don't know. But as you know, the United States is currently trying to negotiate this joint JCPOA agreement, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Agreement, which was the deal made back in the Obama administration. They're trying to reinstigate that, but it looks like Iran doesn't matter now. Iran's going to get a bomb. Whatever we do, this isn't going to stop them from getting a bomb. So why even bother with the agreement anymore? Iran is so close to it that is the general knowledge or thought on the street right now is that they're going to have it irregardless. So I'm not going to find an article on that. I had one pulled up earlier. So, but the thing is that with Iran, we're suddenly trying to quarter somebody that hates us. Iran calls the United States the Great Satan, not Israel, the United States. Why? Well, because, well, I guess they got their reasons. We went in there under the Dulles brothers who ran the CIA at one time. And we, you know, Dulles Airport up in, you know, near Washington, D.C. is named after one of them, you know. And, you know, we went in there and we deposed a democratically elected president because he favored Russia, the Soviet Union. And we put in the Shah of Iran. Well, the Shah of Iran was a tyrant. And that caused a lot of problems, a lot of issues in Iran. And ever since, we have been the great Satan to those people who were trampled upon by that tyrant, the Shah of Iran. Now, of course, there were some people in Iran that liked the Shah, but by and large, there were enough of them that didn't. The United States has been branded the great Satan, and that led to an easy power takeover when the Shah fell by the Ayatollah regime, which has been somewhat less than absolutely friendly to the United States. Some of you might recall they took some hostages once upon a time, and they held those hostages for over 400 days, and kind of led to the demise of the presidency of Jimmy Carter and ushering in the era of Ronald Reagan. Whether you like that or not, that's just what happened. the day when Ronald Reagan was being sworn in as president, Iran got rid of them hostages as fast as they could. See, there's something about having a strong man as a president of the United States. When you're weak, you get bullied. When you're weak, you get picked on. When you're weak, your adversaries kick sand in your face and your teeth, and they grab things. They take your candy from you on the playground, or other countries, or your country. You know, that's what happens. Your people. So, you know, God bless us, you know, and let's hope we find strong leadership. But right now, we seem to be somewhat lacking again. In fact, the current situation might make Jimmy Carter look like a gladiator. But that's, you know, enough for that. So let's get back to the subject at hand here. I'm trying to find this article while I'm looking here talking about Iran. Oh, well, it's going to take me too long to find that. So I might come back to it in a second. Guys, here's what's happening, though. The situation is that Saudi Arabia was trying to negotiate peace with Iran, and the talks broke down. Like I said, they've had a proxy war. The Houthis were one of the main proxies, but Iran and Iranian pro-Iranian militias have attacked many of the militias, Saudi Arabia directly. So this has been rather hot. If Saudi Arabia and Iran made friends, that would really lock the United States out. But so we're in there trying right now to, why is this happening? Why does the Obama administration have such a love affair with Iran? They allowed color revolutions in a lot of Arabic countries, and some that were stable, like Egypt, which that one backfired, by the way, and the military took over from the color revolution. They allowed these so-called color revolutions that destabilized a lot of these countries and really destroyed them, like Libya. The nation of Libya was heading toward prosperity, and they've been wrecked ever since. We put our hand in to make things better, to fix things. We made a mess out of that place, and many other places like it. Now, maybe Tunisia is a better example of things turning well, but quite a few places, these things went to heck in a handbasket. And of course, you know, we've been trying to overthrow Syria. But when the color revolution started in Iran, we did not support that one. Of all places, the country that was our biggest adversary had a viable color revolution. They tried to grow up organically, and we didn't give it any support, although we probably generated a lot of those in other countries ourselves through our meddling CIA. We got no business meddling in these businesses of all these other countries to start with. That I would submit to you. But this is what's happened, and it's really strange that this love affair that the previous administration seems to have been reincarnated in the current administration. Not mean previous one administration back, Obama, and now administration now in the Biden administration. Some strange love affair with the Ayatollah regime. I don't know what it is or why it is. Israel has been Israel and the United States have been tight for decades, but Israel has been steadfast against that JCPOA, to the point that they've talked about threatening to attack Iran. It may be too late for that now. And the United States apparently is not very supportive of that. There could still be a war between Israel and Iran. There has been a hot proxy war, well, not really a proxy war. They've had a low-grade warfare going between the two countries where they've covertly bombed each other, sunk ships, bombed facilities in cities and things like that. Mainly the Mossad has done a lot of bombing inside of Iran. But would they actually make a full-fledged attack? Some have thought that maybe they would stage it through Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia's been having a war with Iran too. So, but Saudi Arabia has a lot of issues with hosting the Jewish state on their territory, since they have Mecca. So how this is all fall out, what side Saudi Arabia is going to fall out on ultimately between these various spheres of influence is yet to be seen. However, what is happening is we dropped them. We didn't sell them the F-35s. We're not giving them the support that they were looking for. And they have turned to China, and now they're selling oil in yuan. What does that mean? That and some other things. That means that now the demand for dollars is going to drop dramatically. See, here's the thing. Our government has been spending money, a lot of money. And we have gone way in debt, but it's not created Weimar inflation like it did in Germany, because there were so many dollars out there in the world market that our debt was just a piece of that. Well, that piece of that has grown so much in the last few years that now it's beginning to hit us. It's beginning to come home. And this war in Ukraine seems to be a tripwire to causing already a very unstable situation. I explained previously how our debt has been doubling every 8 years. I mean, the total debt in America, corporate, personal, government, doubling every 8 years. I mean, that's doublings are going up fast. It's doing like this. Whereas the economy, GDP, has been growing at a slow slope rate like this. So you get growing like this. So what you got is this gap, a gap between the growth in debt and the actual increase in the economy. At some point, that becomes unsustainable. And I think we're there. And that's why we're already seeing the inflation. Well, this war is a tripwire. Now you add fuel to the fire that our dollar will no longer be the world reserve currency, and we are in severe trouble. Now, how fast dollars will be dumped and changed over is a good question. But we've done one more thing to kill the dollar. One more thing that's going to damage it, and that is freezing assets and banking systems of several countries right now, vis-a-vis in regards to Russia through the SWIFT banking and other trade mechanisms. We have locked out the dollars and the trade of those dollars as part of our sanctions and embargoes. Now, as part of our sanctions, actually. So what's happening is all the rest of the countries looking back and say, oh, your dollar's got strings on it. There's strings attached. So just because I got a dollar, that don't mean it's mine. I may not be able to keep it. I may have your dollar in my account, but if you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like how I'm allied, I can't use it. You're going to hold it from me. And so I really don't have any money. I thought I had money and I don't. So what are these countries going to do? They're going over to the yuan. That's where they're going. Not the ruble. The ruble's tanking right now. So it'll be the yuan. So that'll build up China. That will act. The downside of that is this could make China suddenly wealthy. This could give China the wherewithal to go into debt spending and further increase their military. So this is double stupid. It's demising on us and increasing on China. We are committing financial suicide, political suicide, military suicide if we're not careful. This is very bad foreign policy that we're enacting from our State Department, from our Treasury, from the entire federal government, this current administration, probably being orchestrated by the big banksters of international repute, if you know what I mean. So we are shooting ourselves in our foot. We are doing bad juju to our money. What does this mean to you? It means your dollar is going to be worth less and less. At some point in the very near future, inflation is going to go. The Weimar Republic, what it was characteristically known for is it took a wheelbarrow worth of money. You had to fill a whole wheelbarrow with money to go in the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread. Oh, by the way, one of the Goldbacks will work really nice. Their value will stay. It will remain because they are traded. They got gold. It's not a pure fiat currency. It is money. It's gold. So that's the good thing about the Goldback. It is backed by, and it actually is gold. So that gives it a little advantage. And if you stuff them under your mattress and the house catches on fire, you go scrape up the puddle and you got it settles the bottom because it's gold and it's heavy, and you'll have gold. All right. So enough of that. Seriously, guys, this is a great situation. The dollar's demise seems to be in the cards. It was already baked in, just given the rate of debt increase versus GDP. Our demise was somewhere down the road, irregardless, we were going to hit it. It's going to mean problems with the federal government. It's going to mean problems for federal spending, federal programs, defense programs. Things may have to be cut. It may be that they're cutting things like your Social Security. It may be cut, or it may be that it's just going to be so hyperinflated that it will be worthless. Your Social Security check will be able to buy you what was a penny ball of bubble gum, maybe. Are you living on fixed income? You need to start thinking that fixed income is going to be practically worthless. It's in dollars. You need to think of some other strategy for money, some other means of income, passive, active, whatever. I'm sorry to say, retirement is not such a wonderful thing as it used to be. So all this stuff you worked all your life to set up, the government is taken from you by inflation. They've done this to you by reckless spending over the years, and allowing consumers also to run debt up by having artificially lower inflation, interest rates for some time. All these things will come in, sooner or later the roosters come home. We shouldn't have been buying, one thing in the Arabic world is they don't allow people usury, that going in debt. There's some advantage to that, that people aren't so indebted. But then again, it also stymies the economy quite a bit because people can't be buying houses and doing things like they do here. So, we need some happy medium. Japanese used to be really good at saving money. So we need some happy medium. We got to relearn a lot of lessons in our country and our world. We're used to the instant gratification, and now it's costing us all this outlays, the social spending, and everything. That's the biggest part of our government, by the way, is entitlement programs. Everybody thinks defense spending. Defense spending is a chunk about like that. Some people say, well, it's all space. Space, would be totally lost. You could take out space spending and you wouldn't even know it in the whole grand. It's less than 0.5% of the federal budget. Everything's spent on space, from defense and NASA. Entitlement programs and interest on debt. Oh yeah, as the interest rates goes up, interest on debt becomes a bigger slice too. As the value of money goes down, you expect interest rates to go up even more. And so it gets harder and harder and harder to service that debt. As the debt increases, it gets to be harder and harder to service that debt. At some point, the federal government will go into default because it wouldn't be able to service the debt if we keep lending out so much more money. What's happening is our outlays are getting bigger, but our revenues are, relatively speaking, getting smaller. So it gets to be like an inverse pyramid. Sooner or later, it topples over. If you spin it, you might get a little stability for a while, but even tops topple over, and we're not spinning. Except in the media. Oh, everything's fine. Don't worry your pretty little heads. Well, my friends, think about how to reinvest your money. You know what the best thing to buy is? Durable goods, cars, trucks, stuff that actually, best thing to buy is stuff that produces, tractors, tools. And the best tools to buy are the hand-powered tools. If the grid goes down and you can't get fuel, or there's no electricity, that blender ain't gonna do any good. That electric-powered leaf blower isn't going to do any good. The electric power washer, the gas powered one might, but only if you can figure out how to make an alternative fuel for it. You see what I'm saying, guys? Yeah, I just did a video. Check out also below the flex fuel link, because you can if you can make alcohol, you can make fuel after all this stuff goes down and living off the grid. So that may be something you want to check out, and give you flex fuel options too. So that's a couple of things that I'm posting in the links below. And you can also consider, you better need to pile some food up, guys. That's an investment. But food prices, food inflation is going through the roof. We saw the specials with prepgrid.com, and don't expect that to last long with inflation that you expect to see. So put your money in durable things. Go to the big box stores and buy some rice and beans. But things that are durable, things that will last, tools that can give you productivity and edge, that's going to be premium, because you might need another way to make a little money. What can you do to earn money? What can you do to earn a living? Worm farming might be one of those ways, but it's going to be June before I'm selling worms again. So just stay tuned for that. Gardening, market gardening. I do videos on gardening. I'll do more in the future. Microgreens. I've done quite a few videos on microgreens, but people don't like it when I post this video. I get actually people complaining about them. But I'm probably going to post a few more, because you need to know how you can make it, how you can eat, and how you can make money in a situation like that. So you got to stay tuned, guys. But there's the bottom line. The two things that's really going to be, three things that's knocking the money down is that we have a big ratio between debt and GDP. And it's a big growing ratio. It's unstable. The government spending is part of that overall ratio. That's what drove the Weimar Republic inflation. The fact that the dollar was able to escape that for a long time because it was the world's reserve currency, that's coming to an end. And the fact that people are going to be scared of dollars because the security of using dollars is going to be questionable now that we're shutting down and holding dollars over political objectives. It might be the right thing to do for that narrow objective, but it's going to destroy our money, which is probably what some of the big banksters want. They're wanting to hit a big button. It's called reset. They want to hit the system reset. They refer to it as great. I think maybe otherwise. So get ready, guys. The roller coaster ride has begun. The roller coaster has clicked up to the top of the hill and it's just hit release. Hang on. Who knows where this is going, but it is not going to look pretty. Buckle up and hang on, but think. Don't panic. Think your way through this. If you're smart, you might actually profit from these times. Smart people make money in bad times if you got a little bit to start with. Hopefully. Now, I don't know, guys, but just be careful. It's going to get rough. If you're on a fixed income and you're disabled and you can't do anything, can you use computer skills? Is there something you may have to learn a few things? But if you can't do any of that, I hope you got some good family. You need to really culture your family contacts, guys. We're coming in tough times. Any way you slice or dice. If you can produce food, though, I'm expecting food shortages. If you can produce food and know how to do it without having to go to the store to buy fertilizer, which is going to be expensive, then you got an edge. If you know how to do blacksmithing, you got an edge. I mean, old-fashioned blacksmithing don't require any electric power if you got a hand crank blower or a hand-operated billis. See what I'm saying, guys? Go to the flea markets, look for those hand-powered tools, which I do so often. That's why I do that. That's why I do videos on that, guys. Get the old wash pots, get the old washboards. Look for and think how to live without power. We may be lucky. We may be able to keep power, but energy is going to be expensive. If this war goes kinetic and we get wrapped into it with Ukraine and Russia, you can expect us to probably get hit by an EMP. Even short of that, a major cyber attack is something you can really expect because Russia is highly upset with us right now. Right now, there are commentators in Russia saying that Russia should take back Alaska and some fort in California, as an area, as a retribution, as what do you call it? Where they're trying to get you to pay back stuff. Guys, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Well, fat chance on that, right? Tell you, when I was in the Army in Alaska, the civilians had more nugs than we had. So I figured that it would be the civilians protecting the Army instead of the Army protecting the civilians. That's just the way Alaska is. It's tough in Alaska. Those guys out there in the bush, I don't know about the guys in Fairbanks, but the guys that live out in the bush in interior Alaska, they're tough as nails. Ain't nobody running through them easily. All right, my friends. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. Keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. Subscribe, bang that notification bell, and click off if you're not done it. Share this video because people need to know the kind of times that are coming as. And I don't see how the dollar makes it through this without becoming indicted. Basically, they may just decide to shut the dollar down. They're already talking about a new digital currency. And that digital currency, they want to model it after China's. So it'll have strings attached. If you're not doing the proper social things, they'll just shut them off. They'll take them from you. They'll give you the money to spend as long as you're a good little boy, however they define that. Yeah, I think I'll take my Goldbacks. I don't want anything they can control. All right, my friends. Thank you all for watching. God bless and good night. Greg out.